Yep. Let's go. As a South Carolina kid, I guess this game means a lot to you, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know, definitely some extra juice in this game. I mean, it's rivalry week. I think that the guys from South Carolina definitely understand that more than others. But I think the bigger picture is another game for us, another week of preparation. I think that's us will be a little more excited than some guys, but at the end of the day, it's another game, and that's how a lot of the guys on the team are looking at it. That's about it.
When you were a little kid in middle school, not really talking high school, much of middle school stuff like that, when the picking is really at its highest level. Can you remember when you and the South Carolina fans would get into it and what that was like?
Yeah, no, I definitely had one of my best friends growing up is a South Carolina fan. He's a senior at South Carolina, still one of my good buddies. So definitely as kids and our families would definitely trash talk. And we're still close to this day. So I mean, it's all in good fun. But yeah, it was definitely probably more heated growing up as kids. We probably got in some fights as little middle schoolers, but it's all in good fun.
Your freshman year was the 5 part of the streak, and now you've gone 2-0. How big would it be for you with 3-1?
Maybe it'd be huge. Definitely kind of turning that streak around because 5 years in a row they definitely got the best of us. I know as for Deshaun as a starter, he said he never wanted to lose to South Carolina. I think that's how all our guys feel. So definitely going 3-1 would be huge. But at the end of the day, another game, hoping to get another win.
How emotional will it be before you stand on top of the hill for the last time?
I'll be pretty emotional. I'll definitely probably do the same thing I did on senior day. Probably cry a good bit. Just because I worked my whole butt off to get here, and now it's finally coming to an end. So I'll probably there'll be a bunch of tears flowing Saturday night.
You like to, as you said, have conversations with those players here.
Yeah.
Have you had some good conversations with South Carolina guys over the years?
I don't really remember last year. There's really not much trash talk going on through the games. I remember Louisville, there was a bunch of trash talk. Florida State was kind of not really. Wake Forest, those guys were super cool dudes. I was talking to their offensive line the entire time. The running back was a great guy. I mean, it's just fun. It makes the game go by so much more smoother when you're just it takes so much energy to trash talk. Like Louisville, I was so drained because you're having to think of a new catchy line to tell them, and it's draining. It takes a lot of energy out of you. I would much rather just have a casual conversation during a game, like I did at Wake Forest. So I'm hoping for the same thing as South Carolina. I don't want to trash talk. I don't feel like it. It takes way too much energy out of me. So I'm hoping for some great conversations on the game Saturday night.
So it wasn't the 99 plays as much as it was just all the trash.
A little bit of both. I mean, the 99 plays, it was actually 105. They had a couple of false starts that didn't get graded. We were on the field for 105 plays. We had that, and definitely just trash talking and just yelling at each other for probably 70 out of the 105 snaps is super draining. So I would much rather not be that way. So like I said, I'm hoping to have get to know some guys on their team come Saturday night. Just some great conversations.
We hear increasingly the players say that this is a rivalry for fans and they got a bunch of friends on the other team. And do you feel? I mean, you seem like somebody that really doesn't have a whole lot of friendships across the way.
I don't know a lot of guys on their team. I have a lot of friends that go to their university. And you might could say that. There really isn't much trash talk. I mean, there has been before, obviously. I think with our team, we really aren't one to do that. We're about business. We don't really put too much effort into that. Me and Christian and probably Jadar might do a little more than others, but it probably is just for the fans. I know of a couple of the guys on the team. So I mean, we're so close that a lot of the guys are friends, and it is football, so it definitely gets heated sometimes, but I don't think no one takes it personal on the field. It's just all in fun trash talk.
Do you have Gamecock fans? I know that you're on Twitter and you don't do it in the season, but you see stuff. Do Gamecock fans send you messages on Twitter?
No, I haven't yet. I'm sure they'll start rolling in this week. But I mean, I don't care. It's all in good fun. They can say what they want to say. I'm looking forward to hear their responses throughout the week.
What's the difference been like throughout the year, I guess, when the streak was going on and they have won 5 in a row versus kind of these last 2 years for you guys?
I don't remember. I guess my freshman year, that was a while ago, so I don't really remember how. I really don't think the preparation changes. When we haven't won in Georgia Tech in 13 years. We did the same exact thing we would have done if we would have won there 13 years in a row. I really don't think the preparation changes. I don't think there's any more intensity or more focus at practice than there should be. I think we've been really consistent in our preparation and our focus each week, regardless of what streak's going on.
Not much as far as the preparation, but Wayne was saying like the pictures and stuff was getting really annoying with the South Carolina fans, and it's been nice.
I don't think a lot of guys pay attention to it. Maybe more when they had that 5 streak, it was probably blown up a lot more. Luckily, I wasn't here for all of that except for the last year. But I don't think a lot of guys on the team pay attention to that. Honestly, I think that's mostly for fans.
South Carolina's quarterback Bentley should be in high school right now. Does knowing that get you a little bit more excited, trying to get pressure on him and getting his head traveling, that sort of thing?
Not really. I think he's definitely prepared. I think he's obviously shown that he can play at this level even at a young age. And watching film, he makes a lot of throws. He's a big kid. He's obviously mature for his age. That he can go in to an SEC program and play at a high level at being 17 or 18 years old, however old he is. So I think age is just a number for him. I think he's prepared mentally and physically and emotionally. I think he's played in tough environments. So I don't think it'll obviously be loud Saturday night, but I think he'll come in here prepared. And I don't think he'll let the emotions get the most out of him. So I'm expecting to compete. I'm expecting him to compete too.
Being what's at stake this week for you guys, and knowing they're kind of coming here with a chance to be spoiler, does that make the game even that more intense this week? Because it's always special anyway, but being what's at stake with you guys, it's even more.
Not really. I think we really don't try to focus on that. I know that's preached every week, and guys say the same thing, and I think it's probably getting cliche at this point, but I think it's so true for us. We really don't focus on the entirety of the whole thing and the whole situation. We focus on each game, each practice, each moment, each play. And I think if we do that, I think that the outcome will be the one we want to. We don't really focus on, if we lose this game, our season's over. We're treating this as the biggest game of the season, just the same way as last week was the biggest game of the season. I think that preparation and that mentality has allowed us to be so successful over the past couple of years.
Well, Phil, what have you seen from their offense?
Just spread offense. They're pretty balanced. They got some good freshman running backs. They're definitely a young team, but they're very talented. Good tight end, good receivers, solid on the line, but definitely the quarterback and the running back stand out for them being so young and then making the plays they've been able to make. I think those guys will probably turn that program around the next couple of years, just them playing at a high level as 18-year-olds. I think South Carolina fans have a lot to look forward to in the next couple of years out of those guys.
You guys as a senior class, you have a chance to tie the overall home wins record for a senior class this week. You also have a chance to be first senior class to have a winning record against USC since 2008. What does all of that mean to you, having a chance to be a part
I mean, it's huge, but it's very temporarily. I know the past couple of classes had that title, and it lasted for about 8 months. So I know we'll probably get it. And then the next class will probably take it over within a year. So it's cool, but we're going to keep going down the list in the rankings because each class will continue to top the next. So it's very temporary.
Christian was telling us about Cleveland and Christian bumping into Brent Venables and his nose was bleeding in practice a couple of weeks ago. What's that like looking across the line and seeing the defensive coordinator still playing quarterback and blood drips on his face?
So it was funny. I was like, what happened to your nose? And then in the game, after the game, he was wearing a cast on his wrist, and then he almost fainted, almost had a stroke on the field, like from just getting too excited. And we showed it to him. He didn't know it was like blowing up on like social media. I mean, he's just an intense guy, and he wants what's the best out of us, and he will do anything in his power to get that, whether it be breaking his nose or busting his nose open or break his wrist or have a heart attack on the field. He is going to exhaust every amount of energy he has into this program and into this defense to play at a high level. And I think those are just pure examples of his intensity.
When I think about him bleeding out on the practice field, I think that's what Ben Boulware would be if he was the coach. Do you have any, designs on coaching someday? And would you think, like Ben Venables?
I don't know. That's definitely in the future. I'm definitely living in the moment and trying to make the most out of the situation I'm in right now. So we'll see. I don't know. We probably will. Our coaching styles would definitely probably resemble each other. But I don't know. I don't know what the future holds for me.
Do you feel like this is a different program now than the one that lost to Pittsburgh, or maybe just this team, not necessarily the program, but do you feel like you can see steps being taken to achieve what you want to
No, I definitely think we're the same program. I think we definitely went into it with great preparation, and we all wanted to win. I think we respected them, but at the end of the day, it's very difficult to win at a high level like we've been doing. And some days you're going to get beat, and it is what it is. And you live and you learn, and you move on from it. So I definitely think we've grown from that, and we made strides to not let that happen again. But I think we're definitely the same program. We definitely, I guess, that game allowed us to mature a lot and showed us a lot about our team. But I've always thought we've had great leadership on this team, great maturity, great preparation and focus. But yeah, that definitely boosted us up a little bit. Kind of, like I said after the game Saturday, gave us a little kick in the rear end and kind of got us right back on track. I'd much rather happen in the middle of the year than in December and January. So yeah, I think it definitely helped us out and gave us strides. Got the strides forward.
Can you put a pinpoint why is it on the road, you guys, obviously when you defeated again this year on the road, why you played so well on both sides of the ball for the most part? But at home, that lack of focus hasn't been there. Is there something you can pinpoint and say, why that's the case?
I don't think it's I definitely don't think it's a lack of focus. I think we're focused each and every week. I think we're prepared. So I don't know what it is. I know it's definitely not a lack of focus or a lack of preparation. So I don't know if I can really give you a good answer. I don't know why we're not playing as good at home as we do the road. I really couldn't tell you. I know it's definitely not a lack of focus or a lack of pressure. We've been focused and prepared each and every week. We were focused and prepared against Pittsburgh. They just happened to beat the crap out of us that night. Defensively, the fact that our crowd's super loud, it's easier to communicate on the road just because the crowds are not near as loud. It's easier for us to get everybody lined up, and me and Kendall communicate to the guys. So that may be one thing. It's definitely not a big thing, but that's one thing that kind of helps us where me and Kendall can legit just talk out there on the field on road games rather than me at home having to grab somebody by the face and scream in their ear. So that may be one thing. There's probably some factors that go into it that I don't know of. But I know it's definitely not a lack of focus or preparation.
The way Senior Day went, are you thankful for another chance to play here?
Absolutely, because that sucked. I don't want to do that again. I definitely don't want to leave on that note. I definitely want to leave on a positive note. So I'm very grateful that we have another opportunity because that would have probably haunted me for a long time going out in my last game and getting smacked.
When you're going through that at the top of a hill, Senior Day, probably against Saturday, do you kind of reflect on everything that you've done here in your career?
Probably more going into it. When you're up there for the last time, it's definitely kind of overwhelming, and you got a lot of emotions running around your head. But going into the game, I definitely will reflect and think about how fast it's gone by. But at the time, it's such an overwhelming experience. I'll probably cry, like I did the last 2 weeks ago. But probably throughout this week, I'll definitely reflect and reminisce a little bit. But at the time, I'll probably thinking about a game plan and crying at the same time. So.
And Princeton Butler told me this past summer that
Who?
Princeton Butler, your player.
Okay.
He told me this summer that the bus ride around the stadium is kind of where he did all of his reflecting and most of his emotions.
Yeah.
Is that? Do you see it that way when you go around that bus ride?
Yeah, a little bit. That bus ride seems to take forever. It's definitely, especially in your last couple times going on it. So I'll probably spend some time reminiscing on the bus ride. But on the hill, I'll probably just be enjoying it, embracing the moment, looking at everybody. But probably throughout the week and definitely the bus ride, just kind of sitting there, just thinking about everything that's happened. So that's definitely true.
Specific to this rivalry, ever any moments or memories from your first 3 games against USC that stand out in your mind?
Probably the one that I'll remember the most. Last year was definitely a sloppy game. My shoulder was killing me, so I played like crap. Sophomore year, recovering that fumble was super cool. My freshman year, one thing USC fans are probably happy about this, but my freshman year, on the first, I think one of their first kickoffs, I was on kickoff return, and it was so loud. They were doing that little towel thing with that song, Sandstorm, and it was super loud. And I was 18 years old, and I was about to crap down my leg. It was so loud. So probably that and the fumble I recovered my sophomore year is probably the 2 moments that I'll never forget.
That seems like a good note to end.
Yeah.
All right, John.